Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is time for another draft here on Going Optimal. We're going to do a premiere draft of Zendikar Rising. We've been playing all Zendikar all the time. It's the new set, so of course we were going to be playing it anyway, but been having a lot of fun with it. And my results have been improving a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But my fun has been steady. So some frustrating moments, Magic's always going to make me salty when justice fails to prevail, which is like me winning, right? But having fun with the puzzle, having fun with the depth. Again, I love the way that Kicker in particular creates a lot of action in the late game. A lot of big things can happen with Kicker. You can put ridiculous effects on things at high costs, knowing that there's a safety valve of the low cost that makes the card fundamentally playable in general. And then, so even if it's like, 75, 80% of the time, you play the cheap end because Magic always has the starting mana, low levels of mana. And if you get to the big mana, you can do the big things. And that's been my favorite part about the set. And I think what drives it has been the flexibility of Kicker. It's just a great mechanic. There's an ongoing joke in R&D and in Magic that basically all mechanics are Kicker. If there's any problem with Kicker, it's that it's too broad. You almost want sub-Kicker type mechanics that narrow it a little bit. But the fundamental idea of a card that has an inexpensive mode and an expensive mode is fundamentally what that mechanic is about. And you could there's lots of ways you can do that. I mean, you look at a mechanic like Entwine. There's all extra costs. As an additional cost, you may, there's all sorts of ways you can effectively insert Kicker into your Magic from a mechanical impact without actually using the word Kicker. And Magic does that a lot, which is why there's an ongoing joke that all mechanics are Kicker. And if you want all mechanics on your tabletop card game at home, you can find them at cardkingdom.com. Card Kingdom is my sponsor. They are purveyors of Kicker cards, Entwine cards, and all of the stuff that pretends to be Kicker but doesn't actually say it. You can find most of it at Card Kingdom. I'd never say all of it because they don't have 100% stock ever. I don't think anybody does. But they are constantly pursuing it. We talk about, around here, I'm never optimal, but I'm always going optimal, right? That's my idea, is that while I can't ever exist in a state of pure optimization, I can always be pursuing it. And that's kind of the Card Kingdom inventory philosophy. They're never going to be 100% inventory, but they are always pursuing it. That both means that if you want to find one place to finish your deck, they're going to be a good spot for that. And it also means that they are always buying at high prices because they want to complete that inventory, keep it strong, keep it available. And if you're looking to convert your cards into cash or 30% bonus for store credit, remember to check out their industry-leading buy list. Thank you so much, Card Kingdom. Now, let's jump in. 1500 and draft time. Got to be close to getting all these. I don't know. Drafting every day here. Premiere. I'm also updating my spreadsheet here with the info so far. Yeah, but I mean, I've been drafting every day on this account, right? So I was kind of expecting, I thought we'd be there by now. Interesting. I'd say the abstract best card in this pack is Cleric of Life's Bond, but it's a gold card. The rare is good. This was the signal I narrowly declined to follow in a draft yesterday that then cost me because we could have been in red. And then, yes, Low Mage Domination, as David says. Those are the three I'm looking at. There's the Veil, but I actually think the 2-for-1 Domination is enough better than the Veil that I would take this over the flip. But Channeler is a place to start. You can legit start here, but Domination is a 2-for-1. Channeler is a build around whatever. Yeah, there's no real white, so you could take the Cleric and try and cut that deck. But I think no real white was what we're saying. I'm going to take the domination. I think this is excellent. The 3 blue is pretty oppressive, but if you're in heavy blue, it's fine. Well, if we'd taken the cleric, we could follow with the relic vial. I screwed up one draft recently where I saw this in my head as the amulet, the relic amulet, not the vial, and passed this in a cleric deck. We take a rogue here. Actually, the blue-black rogue deck is a thing, and that's blue, and that's a black rogue, so we can take that. But you discard with the channeler, right? Maybe I need to look at the channeler again. It's not repeated card advantage, it's repeated card quality, right, Zori? That's just to be clear. I'm just, let's talk about this removal. This removal is fine, but not amazing. At some point, you can, like, not even cast it. And these are just so powerful. If this were the party removal, the instant speed party removal, I would do that. But the rogue is enough better than Feed the Swarm for me to take that there. Scourge of the Sky Claves is more of a constructed plant, but it's not unplayable. Often in limited, both players have low life totals, and this is just a beast. We do have a black card. We could try it. What would we be taking instead, though? We have Into the Royal and Vision. You wish it had flying? I mean, when you land this thing, it's huge, so I don't know. Flying seems... this one, Oni? Yeah, the Scourge is better than it looks. Royal is great. Also like collection building a little bit on this one. If you are, if you're any kind of gem hound or collection builder, you got to take the mythics here. I am going to take the Royal, though. I don't know if that's right. I hear you. It's just I love Into the Royal so much. And also, blue-black doesn't seem like the place that particular rare is going to be good. At its best, I should say. Scourge is totally playable and limited. It's not a 2-drop, but it's a late game fatty for 2. You know, it's really it ends up generally being quite beefy. I just don't like its fail case, Oni. I don't like cards that have that kind of fail case. Like you go to play against someone who's doing life gain and suddenly you just literally can't play it. Like that's the kind of thing that makes me a little nervous about the card. Let's see, where is it?
Grown-ups.
Predation seems fine to me here. Yeah, kicker hedge on Gnarlid. We do have this already, though. I'm going to take the flip land. Minecarver is the rogue, kind of the rogue equipment plant here. The rogue uncommon build around in some senses. We're not really quite on it. I kind of want the shepherd even. This was actually an all-star in my excellent rogue deck, but you really need to have the low down aggro going. But yeah, I think shepherd is tempting, but I think I am actually going to take the carver because if we do get there on the rogues deck, this is actually pretty good. I don't feel like we're close to it. We're not quite there yet. Yeah, because we don't have the flying rogues, but you know, you even get a second one. It's like you get a couple of these, and if you can get the cheap flying rogues, it can work. But we're kind of not there yet. This is still somewhat speculation. I could even take something like the Skitter Sneak to take something a little more boring. But yeah, Low Mage's Domination. I've actually never cast this reduced by 3. Maybe I'll finally get to cast this for a reduced cost. So maybe this will work. Vanquish still being here is somewhat signy. So is the Blood Priest, the Blood Beckoning. This is a great little trio to see given where we're at. Which one do we want? Just the removal, I think. It's not amazing. But yeah, Priest is the other option. Blood Beckoning is good, but I don't want them in too many multiples. So I think this is like the third, but it's like 2 drops are important, removal is important. Vanquish is meh, but it's removal. Look, we got this one anyway. We'll take this Priest over this Rogue, I think. 2 drops are that important. I do want to see Floor Stalker in this type of deck, but we're going to take the Priest here. Feed the Swarm showing up here is what I'm talking about. Third Carver. Should we carve him up? Maybe this is too much and we should just take another Blood Priest. Yeah, that's the thing. It's cute to think of getting a third Carver, but Carver Flood could be a real thing. We really don't want to do that to ourselves, so we'll take... Now, maybe we're supposed to give up on blue here. Our picks went... Lulmage, let's see, where did we start? We went Lulmage's Domination, into the Royal. So blue, blue, blue. Or maybe there was a black pick in there somewhere. But basically, yeah, maybe there's like second pick Rogue or something. But I think we had 3 blue cards and 1 black card after 4 picks. And then the blue dried up. Well, what do you know about this? Help me. Oh my God. Why do you have to be together? Why you gotta be like that? Well, we have 2 Into the Royals, and there is some kicker in black, especially the bat. But basically, if we take the Roost, we're looking to really pile on the blue kicker stuff. I'm going to take the Roost because it does have the highest upside. This, at the end of the day, is a 1-for-1 removal spell with the land clause, which is amazing. No doubt amazing. But this is game winning. This can take over and win you games, literally take over and win you games, whereas the rare 1-for-1s, mostly. And that's, we want that. Like, I took this over a good 2-drop, so I'm not trying to downplay the removal. I'm just saying that 1-for-1 removal, as powerful as it is, doesn't single-handedly win you the game. Roost of Drakes can actually do that. Consumption is a spland that could be considered. We have a rogue here, though. Is this what we want? Nimble Trap Finder. You can even use the trap meme. Can't be blocked if you had another cleric, rogue, wizard, or... Okay, anything from party enters, it can't be blocked. Well, so it's actually not that good. Because we're not really going to be all party much, but it is a 2-drop. Is that enough? I mean, because there's Skulker, there's Duelist, yeah, it's very blue-white, but it's still a 2-power 2-drop, of which we're low on. I'm going to take the Trap Finder narrowly here. Partly it's the rare, I think. I'm maybe being enamored by the rare thing, but I think it's legit, too, that we just need 2 drops, and if it does anything beyond that, it's fine. Lulmage, ditch everything. Yeah, we don't have to play it either. It's just a hedge. Yeah, no, we're kind of missing out on the kicker stuff, but I do like a rogue here. We're going to stick to the rogue action. We're going to get those uncommon rogues, and it's all going to come together. And we're going to wheel the swarm. Here we go. Oh, I thought that was I saw uncommon blue and thought it was the one I want, but it's not. We could still take it, but maybe just want a subtle strike here or field research. Field research, if we're going to make Roost, is probably the pick here. If we're going to make Roost happen, we got to take all the options that come our way. Risen Riptide is asking us to do stuff with Roost. Boy, I don't feel like we can abandon the black, but the green-blue is clearly open. Too bad. So we'll take the Riptide and hope we find more kicking action. Another Lull Mage. That's cool. This is Kicker, but we're not going to take it over another Lull Mage. We're going to steal all their stuff. Here's a Royal Mage, just what David was asking for. Great pickup here. Grasp, I think, does the best job of buying us some time, and yeah, our 2s are filling up enough that I feel like we can take Grasp here. And it does, yeah, it adds a little mill. I don't like the 2-mana draw. It's really not what I want to be doing on 2. Yeah, we'll take a Blood Priest, although this is Kicker. We could take the Sentinel. I think we just want another Blood Priest, though. You really want to take the Sentinel just because it has Kicker? I guess we have a couple of Priests. It's definitely one of these two. All right. Yeah, Subtle Strike goes well on the Yule Sentinel. We have another Priest option. Wow, these are... I think we could have gotten into the... If we'd taken that Black-White Cleric first, we would have been really hooked up, too. That would have been a good deck. But Skulker here seems fine. Lithoform, like the... Is that the artifact that doubles stuff? Yeah, I think that one is. Maybe we want Cleric or Wizard... Well, I guess I had that choice made for me. Look at this. We are in the right place, I guess, though. Do you want a Demon's Disciple? Demon's Disciple going up for me a little bit because of how many enchantment removals there are here. Yeah, we could just take the blood price. Kind of flailed towards picks there. I don't... Silencer's really fallen off of my, my playable list. Another Mythic. If you want a collection build, there's no shame in taking your Mythics that you open. And what does it cost us to take a Mythic here? It costs us a Sky Dancer and a Grasp. I think we actually just take the Mythic. Yeah, you're right, Haj. I didn't really have time to think too much about it, though. I kind of flailed on that pick with clock running down. But I agree with you in retrospect. So, our deck is... coming along fine. There's nothing particularly powerful here. We would take a Sky Dancer, but since we have a lot of playables and the opportunity cost here is a Sky Dancer, I'm just going to take the Mythic Land. I might have even crafted those for some deck and might have gotten gems out of that. We'll see. I'm not sure. Here's a Sky Dancer you take, or another Skulker. This is not the flip land we're looking for. But we could take the Sky Dancer now. Yeah, there's the Riptide. There's another Field Research. I don't see a Royal Mage here. Was that in the previous pack, Haj? There's a Royal Mage in the previous pack. I just missed it. Yeah, I'm with Sky Dancer. I'm not going to... I really want to focus more on the black-blue rogue plan we have going than forcing Kicker to be a thing. But that being said, like a Blood Beckoning here seems fine. Scion is okay in our deck, but it's really just a 3/3. So, 3/3 flyer. Take the Blood Beckoning. Might even be able to wheel this and take the Field Research, but I'm going to take the Beckoning. I do think you're right, though. We're not playing the blood price. I should have taken another card there. Here's a Thwart we could jump on. Ghastly Gloomhunter has Kicker. Vanquish the Weak for more removal. We already got one Vanquish. The second one loses a little bit of value here. I think I'm going to go with Thwart. More 2-for-1 action. I mean, you don't have to have much good. Just getting 2 creatures back is good enough. Wow. We missed our lane, gang. Look at that. Can I go back and be blue-green? Subtle Strike. I want a Subtle Strike. Another Blood Beckoning, but we got a Snare. We're going to take the Snare. Yeah, Hat was basically right. And the fight land, yeah, green wide open. We're going to take Snare. Don't look too closely. It'll just make you sad. All right, do we want to support Roost of Drakes with a kicker? The Milling. We can take Mind Drain, Sky Dancer, or Duelist to continue, or just the Rebirth. I think, yeah, we just take the Rebirth. I mean, if we want another Sky Dancer, let's take the Rebirth, and then we'll target our Sky Dancer when it's about to die. Boom, another Sky Dancer. I'm going to take the land. Powerful stuff, those lands. Deadly Alliance here at this point is a gift. Wouldn't mind a Duelist, wouldn't mind an Acquisitions Expert, but we're not passing Deadly Alliance. Here's an Acquisitions Expert we can take. Oh my god, there's an Into the Royal, though. I don't know, I kind of feel heavily punished right now, but in a good, you know, punished with, like, kittens or something, I don't know. I'm gonna take Royal, though. And here, look, Sky Dancer, this is what I'm talking about. Can't take the spoils, too bad. We'll take this Flying Rogue. Field Research, Skulker, oh my goodness. Coming up us house to some extent here. I think another Field Research. Playing it long here. Got 2 Skulkers already. Here's another blood price to not bother playing in the face of 2 Field Researches. Yeah, I can get the vampires out for sure. Except, we'll get them out with 1 click later. Cleric, Chill Depths, unlikely to see play, but we'll grab that. Wow! Alright, well, black was open. Subtle Strike, Blood Beckoning number 2. I'm going to take Subtle Strike. Oh, that was tough, but I took the Subtle Strike because we have a Blood Beckoning already, and we also have a Thwart, and you, took the, oh, we got all the Sky Dancers anyway. Anyway, I wanted to say, though, I don't like a 3rd reanimation spell, like, which is to say, Blood Beckoning and 1 Thwart the Grave was where I wanted to stop on that effect. So the strike made a lot of sense to me. It also gives us something for the Sentinel, if we can get there. And boy, do we got some cuts. All right, so let's cut the Vamps for sure. Probably cutting this Diviner even, but let me get my land situation understood before we go any further. And we see 17, 18, 19, 20 with the flippers. So we can probably just do that. Although I think it looks like we need more blue. We do maybe even something like that. 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 9-9 split in terms of availability. But then all 3 of our spell lands are black. Yeah, this ended up not being aggro rogues, so we can cut the Mind Carvers just because we're not trying to get there fast. I had 2 Mind Carvers in a great rogue deck, but that deck topped at 3. Like, the curve ended at 3, and it was just about casting tons of the... I had 5 1-mana rogues that could then instantly wear a Mind Carver. 3 of them flew. You know, that's where that shone. Here, it's just not going to do enough for us, especially when we have tough cuts to make. Krauser thinks we'd be happy to draw this mid-game. But I slam it on something and start milling. I mean, yeah, we can cut grasp, although this does help with some of the, you know, the eight cards in Oppo's yard. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boy. We actually cut some of these flying rogues now, right? We don't need all of those. What is our numbers here? 12, 18. So we've got a lot of spells, very few creatures. So we need to keep that in mind. Basically, kind of makes me want to even bring back a dancer and cut harder on... yeah, I don't want to cut... now, I know... like, I'm tempted to run this just because we need bodies. I know we don't have other wizards to get the card draw reliably, but I do wonder if we just need 3/2 flyers. Yeah, party is not super relevant. I mean, we've got 6 rogues, no warriors, 2 wizards, and 2 clerics. It's like, yeah, we can cut. I was just looking at it, but yes, we need to cut it here. We might even need to cut Risen Riptide, although it's doing a fine job on the ground. Again, it's also creature. I need to stop cutting creatures. What if we cut... like, I don't want to cut anything with kicker. So then that means, like, maybe even cutting Feed the Swarm. Or a Subtle Strike. Like, we gotta lose some of these spells. Look at all these spells we got. Something's got to go. Well, you say choose between the kicker plan and the rogue plan. But, okay, let's say I chose rogue plan. What does that mean? Or does that mean we're cutting... doesn't mean we're cutting Roost. Like, the thing is, we're never cutting Roost. We can just lower its efficacy by cutting some... cutting some of our kicker spells. Yeah, Thwart. Maybe I'm clinging to Thwart. When we're low on creatures and already have a Blood Beckoning. I could be convinced of that. And yeah, I don't love the Riptide, but I'm really looking to not go below what amounts to 13 creatures with Roost of Drakes. So then, now we get into, do we want to cut a field research or one into the Royal? Probably a field research. Mabzerto likes the Thwart, and yes, it enters them into the battlefield, which is nice, but we're not doing anything cheaty face with that. It's not like we have a 7-drop we're going to sneak back in. We just have small stuff, and Blood Beckoning has kicker to trigger the Roost. So if I'm going to keep one of those reanimation type spells, I'm going to keep the one that triggers the Roost. Yeah, maybe we do cut a Blood Priest. We have a lot of 2s. I mean, of course, some of them are into the Royal, but that's justifiable. But yeah, again, I hate cutting these bodies. So what are you going to do, though, Ryan? This counts as kind of a body. Maybe I have to just give up. I already cut a field research. That hurt enough. Is Vanquish cuttable? I guess we don't have any... I already cut that removal. Yeah, Domination is reasonable enough as a creature that we could do that. And Subtle Strike, Final Cut. Oh yeah, here's the... I thought I had already cut these. So Subtle Strike, Feed the Swarm. I think one of those has to go. The Royals are tempting, but I love this too much. I'm not cutting into the Royals. Yeah, that's where I thought I had already cut this oil can, so maybe that's my sign that I'm just supposed to let this go. Cut Subtle Strike. If we get aggroed, feed becomes so bad, and Subtle Strike works with a Sentinel. But looks like I'll go with chat's leaning. See, I won't put it to a vote. Seems like chat is on bench Subtle Strike, run feed, but let's keep an eye on that. When we draw feed, I'm going to ask myself if I'd prefer Subtle Strike. Yeah, that's another thing. We could go Vanquish, Subtle Strike, out Vanquish, but Vanquish gets something good usually, so I think we're going to do that. We have 3 into the Royals. We had 3 Dancing Rogues. A couple of Dominations are unusual. I'm going to take a quick bio break. You all are going to come up with the name of this deck, and looks like basic lands are covered. So I'll do that when I get back. Hang tight. We'll play soon. Hey, everybody. What did you decide? Yes, we got land redemption. I'll take care of that. Dancing on the ceiling is pretty good. Knives Out. Is this a knife? That's funny. I'll go with that. I like Dancing on the Ceiling, but Knives Out is funny since we cut the Mind Carver from a rogue deck. And we'll make it the box art, and gotta do the redemption. Let's see. Bolus Horn Lands. That must have been D. Thanks for the redemption, D. Which of these Bolus Horn Lands does D like better, though? I don't know. We're going to do this one. Sneaky Bolus Horns in this one. They're kind of off in the distance. Right. Then we're there. Lands were Bolus Horns lands from Razor. So, how do you think we're going to do here? If we played this out 1,000,000 times, what would our average win count look like? Well, we got 2 lands, but they're both black. And this doesn't look great to me. Oppo going first. We do have a Feed the Swarm for whatever they play first. Like, if you showed me an island on top, this would be an easy keep. But without being sure we have an island coming, I think we have to ship this. This looks a little better. We're going to keep and have to decide how greedy to be. Royal Mage. Do we have shuffle effects? I do want a Royal Mage eventually. It'd be nice if we could shuffle it. Doesn't look like we do, though. If we send that, it goes away forever. Maybe we just have to accept that. I think we need the 2 pieces of removal. So I'm just going to ditch the Royal Mage. The other thing to do is ditch the land and really hope we just draw some land. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to be land greedy. Because we can play most of this stuff on the 2. And now we have a third, so that's... I'm feeling better about that already. Ramulet. Yikes. That's tough to see on 2. We're going to do our best, but we might just start getting our stuff picked off here. Yeah, weird combination to see here. Relic Amulet with black-white. But turns out every deck has some instants and sorceries going on. Hopefully this will be a little less valuable to them than it can be. Got a Sky Dancer that we can flash in. This is I mean, 1 toughness against Amulet. Yikes. But what are you going to do? I'm going to send in the Stalker and still probably hold the Sky Dancer. This commits me to playing it, though, and if they do something like land 2-mana wizard, I don't think there's a 2-mana wizard. I guess wow, interesting. Okay. Not sure what Oppo is up to here. Yeah, Relic Tribal. I like it. Nothing for us. We could field research looking for a land. We can just skulk and potentially snare. And then Golem gets 1 activation or something. I kind of want to just add to our board, though. So I think we play Skulker. And then the question is whether we bother with the snare. Yeah, I'm gonna go Skulker because I wanna keep pressure on before this amulet does anything. And I really don't care though if they want to spend the next whatever turn spending 2 of their mana per turn on Relic Golem mills. Let's let them do that. I mean, our worst case here is a land and a pack beast, you know? That they could put something on the amulet. So that's a worry, because now they're going to be able to kill the Dancer next turn. But we can field research here after an attack. Could play the Royal Mage to add bodies to the board to continue to try and get them to 0 here. We're going to lose the Sky Dancer next turn, so we're going to a single attacker. Although, hopefully it uses most of their turn to do that. But with Royal Mage getting back field research eventually, I'm just going to go field research. I don't think it's worth playing this for 2 damage. That's nice. Now we can play out, like, Royal Mage for no value if we don't want, and then Blood Priest, and we get Wizard, Rogue, and Priest and Cleric for a 3-point drain. And that's not bad either. We could go for stripping their hand, but I'm going to go for the Royal Mage Blood Priest plan here. And then if we let the Blood Priest die, or you know, just we can send Blood Priest into harm's way, knowing we can beckon it back for more draining. Yeah, so we're just trying to punish Oppo while we can. And they've got so many cards in hand, it doesn't seem to really be what is the relevant thing here. I'm going to play this as a land so that we have max mana for next turn and closing it out from 3. I don't think we need Predation to do that. I think we need mana to do that. This lets us, like, for example, we draw a basic land, we can kick Snare and Alliance, for example, so... Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what they were exactly up to. That looked like a deck maybe a little more dysfunctional than ours, even. But starting with a win. Oh, my record was wrong, but now it's correct. We made my record correct. We are on free-to-play 1, and we are playing Premier. Yeah, Oppo's deck wasn't doing much there. It killed one creature and then used the amulet to kill another, but that's basically all they did. I mean, they were stuck on 3, though, so we don't know exactly what was going on, but there was a lot of parts that didn't seem to match there. All right, this is fine. And we're on the play. Skulker, Dancer with Weak at the ready on 4. Plus anything else we might draw. So we got a plan through 4 at least. Rory Com in the tank here. Or maybe Absent. Well, I can tell you all, I'm trying to go optimal on my dental care. I hate flossing. It's like a nails on chalkboard type activity. It's like voluntarily nails on chalkboarding myself. I really hate the feeling of something sliding between my teeth and but my dental health is more important than my icky feelings when I floss. So I am trying to become a flosser. Yeah, water pick. Maybe I'll try water pick, but I'm really just trying to get into the habit of flossing and get over it. So there you go. 48 years old, still trying to be better about my personal health. So you can never stops. Yeah, I'm kind of reckon my teeth are not feeling great right now, and I've already got one. Last year I did a root canal crown. I've got 2 more crowns waiting that have been delayed because of the coronavirus. But I'm just like, Ryan, save what you got. You know, get over it and optimize your dang dental care. Interesting. So we could vanquish that if we want to take him off of ramp. Yeah, right, true. Jeez, the cash. All right, trying to figure out how important it is to kill this Florahedron. Ramp, you know, there's an old adage in Magic, bolt the bird, you know, spend your removal on their ramp so they don't get a turn ahead of you. But you can also save the Vanquish for something else. But let's at least start with an attack. Well, there's a lot of things. If we're going to take care of it, I would just Vanquish it. The real question here is, do we want to spend 3 mana this turn on Vanquish or 3 mana this turn on Skydancer? I think I'm going to give them, since they both have Flash, we're going to pass. I'm going to let them take a turn here because it's likely, I mean, there's some 4-power 4-drops, but most 4-drops are actually 3 power. So I'm hoping we can snag most. I said most, but we'll snare that. So we can snare that instead, and we'll just play Dancer. Means they do get another turn with the Florahedron ramping here, but we're getting our bashing on, and if they don't find air defense, this Skydancer could do some work. Flyers are funny. I mean, sometimes a 2-1 flyer is just junk because your opponent has flyers too, and it gets outclassed in the air and starts to look no better than a 2-1 for 2 on the ground in terms of its effect on the game. But then there are other times where your opponent just straight up does not come up with anything to defend against flyers, and your stupid 1-1 lifelink bat practically goes the distance. So, flyers. You really got to have some. You really got to have an answer for them. Or yeah, especially if you don't have some, have an answer for them. It maybe seems like an easy lesson, David, but... And I know you're giving me the sarcasm, but it's like... I really do want to drive that home. Just how swingy it can be based on what's going on in the air. You know, I have it, you don't, you have it, I don't, or we both have it, you know? It's three very different scenarios. Flash Death Touch, sure. Hat was saying we probably could have tricked him into attacking into the not Death Touchy Skulker, flashed in the Skydancer and gotten them. But I really want... I had to use Vanquish or Skydancer, or we were wasting our mana that turn, and I didn't want to follow with vanquishing the Florahedron. That didn't make sense to me, so... Into the Royal is interesting, but we don't want to send back the Visionary. They get an extra card out of it. I think we will go ahead and just kill it so we get in an attack. And then we have a Royal up in an emergency from there. This is getting them lowish, but not quite as low as I want. But that's why I'm so focused on the flyer. Like, this is one of those games that seems to be coming down to currently how much our opponent can interact with a very small, unassuming flyer. Yeah, Subtle Strike would be nice for them. Subtle Strike's just a good card. There's so many 1 toughness in the format. Oh. Would like to see something... Oh, that's the different one. I was like... I didn't notice they had that. Or did they just mill that? What happened? How did they get that? Oh, I milled it. My own fault, sure. Interesting that they're not going for the kicked. So this is telling us something, right? I mean, they had the mana to kick this and they didn't. So what's up with that? Yeah, they may just be going for the 2 spell. I'm just surprised they don't think that just kicking the Gloomhunter is better here. Could be another silver thing, or it could be something I don't see. Right, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count them up. Yeah, let's just bounce the Hunter now, right? Well, doesn't matter. We can untap and do it, and then still get the value. Yeah. I thought you were saying now to, like, blow them out, but it doesn't blow them out or anything. Maybe they just really wanted... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not fully understanding. Yeah, I'm going to offer a trade because then we can Blood Beckoning it back. Another Into the Royal is nice. Maybe means we can not go for the trade this time and maybe go for it next time. I think we do that. This is why I play all my royals, because if you get royals into royals, it just keeps going. Yeah, if it's Subtle Strike, I guess we'll find out. They'll kill the Sky Dancer here. But we still get our, even if they have Subtle Strike, we still get our Royal, and we make them put a +1/+1 counter out so we can decide about what to do with the Skulker. And Blood Beckoning means we're not even too concerned about Subtle Strike. In fact, really, we just want something else to die. I'm going to play this island so that we have the Royal up in case we want to use that. It does feel a bit fishy. And let's see if they do. Let's assume Subtle Strike and they block. Yeah, let's just make him use it, right? We got the Blood Beckoning, so we really don't care. It's not going to be too much of a blowout given the Blood Beckoning anyway. Gives us a way to use the Blood Beckoning effectively and optimally. Yeah, it could be Might, but Might's terrible for them here. If it's Might, that's great, because they can't stop the flyer, and the ground creature has Death Touch. And we have Into the Royal, of course. Indeed, there's the strike. Where are they going to go with it? They only... That's just seems like new player mistake there. Rory, calm, I hope you find us, because we could help you out. Maybe that was just an innocent mistake, but I think that's just new player not quite understanding the card. Platinum? No, this is silver. We really haven't played Premier yet, this format, much. We've been predominantly playing traditional, so our rating hasn't gone up. Like, since October. We've been mostly traditional in October. Another non-kick. Oh my goodness. They should just have back-to-back 3/3 lifelinkers and we'd be in serious trouble. I practically don't want to send him back because it's another chance to go get him. I think I'm going to send in the Skulker and hope they offer one or two of those for this. Don't jinx me, Krauser. Still got some work to do here to get to the finish line. Oh, this is great though. That's what we wanted. Seeing good cards from opponent's deck. They're making some suspect choices here and there, but I can get behind every single card we've seen from them, so there's that. Often when you see a player you think is maybe doesn't have all the ins and outs of the game figured out yet, you see some really questionable cards as well, but this is all cards I like for what that's worth. Yeah, the lack of playing the Shade is another thing we're not quite seeing. And here it's like failing to kick all this stuff is the real question mark. And now we got to decide on Dancer and whether we are looking to trade off for Hunters or not. Might have to say not here. and play the Sky Dancer, and then have Skulker at least as a Death Toucher. Continue to see just a really nice looking deck from Oppo. So really a mismatch between the plays I'm seeing and the cards I'm seeing. But this is nice. Now I'm more inclined to stay back with the Dancer and rebirth the Sky Dancer to take out a Gloom Hunter. But I'll Skulk, and then we can keep everything up as an instant from there. You can do both of these, kick the Royal and play the rebirth. But that means we would not attack, and maybe we're just supposed to be a little bit more aggressive here. The trouble is, quote, being aggressive doesn't work. Sky Dancer deals 2, the Gloom Hunters gain 2 back. So we might as well stay back and try to use our instants effectively here. You think they're going for a Vastwood Surge? Maybe. Let's see, do they have it yet? This would be 7. Vastwood Surge kicked is 8, right? Everything looks decent except the shade? As in, the Skyclave shade is not good? What do you mean? This is one of the better cards in the set. Try this. And don't even feel the need to royal anything right now. I mean, Jinx, it doesn't block, but have you read this? A 5/3 that never stops at getting you? For example, Jinx, Ben S. called it sneakily a nearly unbeatable card. I have seen it only do great things. Maybe occasionally on the back foot. It certainly has the problem in the quadrant of behind, right? If you're behind, it's not necessarily going to get you there in time. Look at that. We passed that, but it's insane in those. It's not unplayable. This is actively good. I almost took it. Yeah, we're gonna bounce that. Oh yeah, sorry, we're at my turn. Let's bounce it right now. Well, a lot of people don't like it, so I don't know, Haj. You've had some hot takes lately. I thought it was in your range, and you didn't give me the sarcasm wink, so there you go. Let's go. I guess we send in the Sky Dancer, offer that trade, and then have the other one ready. You don't like the trade? Well, if we if we don't trade and they re-kick this, they go to 2 and we can win. But then they go back to 3, and so it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, we can trade. They might not block. Riptide blocks the shade for a turn, and we see what they want to do vis-a-vis kicking that thing. Yeah, but they're going to go to 3. This does 2, right? I don't know. I guess I'm not seeing how that happens. I think they're just playing cards there. We have, of course, the Riptide still blocking that shade. But draws a card, so of course they're going to play it. And gets them a little bit more out of range of Scourge nonsense. Well, they can't kick it, but you don't even... I mean, it's still just... Still sitting here as a 12-12. We need some chumps, and we can still get there. We just need... if we get a steady stream of stuff to chump off the Scourge, the Sky Dancer can get there in the air. That does not help at all. But we don't really have any line besides trying to win with Sky Dancer. How did this game get so close? Oppo playing powerful rares and mythics. And powerful cards. Oppo's deck is good. I like this deck a lot. Oppo's made some questionable plays here and there, but the deck looks good. Like, this is the worst card we've seen. Not sure about what. I didn't say scale was bad, and look at that. Maybe this was someone we were drafting with. We passed that too. I didn't say this was bad. I said scale was the worst card we've seen, and look at this deck. That's me complimenting Oppo's deck, not saying that card is bad. Well, what's the worst card in their deck, Jinx? What card did you see that's worse than that you'd pick lower? I don't know what you mean. Like, if you're going to tell me that that's not the worst card we saw from them, you got to tell me what is the worst card we saw from them. I have Scale the Heights. What do you have? So, a player with more leaks than I have beat us with a better deck. Happens. If you think that Mythic is, quote, worse than Scale as a draft pick, man, you're not looking at the whole texture of things then. I'm going to not be greedy here. I'm going to play the... Well, I could be greedy. Should we be greedy? How greedy should we be? We have 2 lands. We have a Trap Finder we can play. We find a 3rd land. We can just drop a Rogue, and then we have a decent curve even going. We can take a... I guess... Here's why I'm going to be greedy. If we don't find a land by turn 3 and we play the Bog tapped anyway, nothing really changed unless we find an alternate turn 3 play. So I'm going to be greedy because of that. that really, like, if we had some 3-drop here, it would be a tougher decision, because then we'd have something we were actually going for on 3. But in this case, we didn't even actually have a play we were trying to make on 3. So the fallback of sad tapped land on 3 wouldn't have been that bad anyway. Instead, we did get our land, so we can actually play it. More Gloom Hunters for us. I think offering the Trap Finder is okay, but we can make it unblockable by just playing our rogue, so let's do that. Yeah, Roost would be a nice draw here, right? We'd follow it with Snare and Royal and basically take over. Gloom 2. Skulker, though, is reasonable. It's going to get our Trap Finder through, and the Rogue can't be blocked. The other one can't be blocked anyway here. Yeah, it looks very similar, doesn't it? Snaring a Gloom Hunter. On this board, I don't know if I can bring myself to. I think we're racing these fine right now. We have 3 pieces of removal in hand. Right now, we win against Gloom Hunters with our board, so I'm more inclined to use what we've got on the stuff behind, such as Shadowcat. Don't want to use Royal without kick, though. And with no land to play, I am going to Royal kick the Shadowcat right now, crack in for some damage, and then try to find a land. If we find a... I mean, we could play this as a land, but I would rather have this as a spell, so we're going to try this. Another Royal. This is what I was saying about, again... The reason someone was suggesting maybe we had some tough cuts to make in deck building, and we have 3 into the Royals, and cutting 1 Royal was suggested, and I don't like doing that just because, I mean, this is a first pickable card, and one of the reasons why is if you string a bunch together, it's really oppressive for Oppo. I mean, they're fighting us with these 2 Gloom Hunters, and they're gonna have to do it again next turn too, and I'm gonna be greedy on the Rebirth since we can just kick the Royal and keep it going. Waiting for Oppo to decide to stop attacking, you know. Ooh, we got here. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Did they kick it? Oh, oh, this has a cheap kick. So target player gains and then fights. Okay, so that was nice for them. That was good. Not gonna lie. But we can now snare the Gloom Hunter and feed the other one, and we're still in good spot. And this is CMC, yeah. So we could even save the snare if we want, and just let this Gloom Hunter keep going. But we're gonna start on killing this one. So 17 against the Gloom Hunter. I still think we just try and race the Gloom Hunter with these 2 and use this on everything else they're about to put forward. That makes sense? I still just don't feel like we're... I haven't exactly done the 17 to 11 1 point lifelink, 4 points not, you know, but it just feels like we can race this. Yeah, snaring, that's fine. You want to royal it for no card? Are we that tempo-y? I'm going to be greedy. Alliance, it's fine. Alliance gets anything, though. Let's go ahead and well, Bubble Snare does, too. I mean, we could also Alliance on the idea that if we find Roost, we'll want the snare for kicking. So, Royal it also... Royal's fine. We can just keep making them reset each turn. Yeah, I actually like the Royal play. The question about Snare versus Alliance can come after we have Royaled yet again. But a great point from David. Alliance takes creatures off the board entirely. Snare doesn't. And there are a lot of creatures that have, you know, passive abilities on board that are really relevant to which one you choose. We don't have enough dead to worry about that right now. So I like Alliance... Or sorry, Bubble Snare, Hold Up, Rebirth. Starting to run out of removal. Guess which one we're going to? Deadly Alliance. And actually, maybe just Rebirth, Deadly Alliance, next turn, kick Sentinel, and know that for sure, if I just play the Rebirth and not be greedy about it, we can kick the Sentinel next turn, which is going to be better than reanimating anything I'm seeing here. I'm going to do that. Boy, we're facing some powerful cards across the way here. Solid Gloom Hunter. Now I'm really happy we're getting this Sentinel down. Field Research is going to be nice eventually, but I'm going to start with Sentinel. Can send in this Skulker. This didn't become unblockable though, so... Well, I was not going to... send in the Trap Finder. Yeah. Make fun of us, deck. I just cast a bunch of my kicker spells. Give us the Roost, because, haha, we've already used kicker spells. Darn it, didn't work. All right. So, now we need to find something for the Constrictor, since it's making the Gloom Hunter lethal-ish. We can also find another flyer. We don't have one in here, so that's not going to do it. I guess we got a Field Research unkicked, looking for help. Well, what does that do? I mean, we have a Gloom Hunter in the air that's going to be unblockable by our single flyer. So that's job one, and nothing in the graveyard does anything about that. Right? And then... So yeah, got to Field Research and look for an answer. Okay. Dancer at least is... an extra card in the air, but if we play the Diviner, We can... Well, I guess double blocking either way is going to get that done. We can go Diviner. Yeah, I'm going to go Diviner, and then it actually allows the... Well, I guess with all this, we had 4, we just need everything back anyway, so... Yeah, too much has Menace here to attack with anything. Because basically we need to double block the flyer, allow the constrictor through, and then block everything else. Or yeah, we block the kitty. So we put our 2 flyers on the big Gloom Hunter, our 2 ground creatures, or we just die. I mean, I'm actually feeling pretty good for being 1 and 2. Like, often I'm mad at myself for something, or I'm feeling like there hasn't been justice, but honestly, our opponents have just played good stuff against us. What are you going to do?
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there.
Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
Our deck was never amazing, and our opponents' decks have honestly been amazing. Yeah, it's not a great deck, D. I don't know what we... I don't... Like, I feel good about the draft, though, too, in the sense of generally finding reasonable picks. I mean, you could probably go back through and find some little pivot point I could have taken or whatever, but I didn't hear anybody screaming at me that I was way off track on the draft, and we just keep facing powerful rares and removals, so I don't know. We can keep this. Predation as Swamp into Trap Finder and then some removal. Yeah. Oppo, I'm finally calling Oppo by their actual name. We're playing against opponent or Oppo to their friends. We could vanquish that, but I actually don't care about our Trap Finder that much. I'm gonna offer it. And seems likely that if Oppo takes this, it's because they're going to be following up with a Cleric. And there's some 3-drop Clerics that I'd much rather vanquish than that Healer. So we're going to see if they offer one of those.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
Hold back to trade, says Thomas. I'd rather offer the damage and know that if their plan is to drop a Cleric and gain that life back, we're going to vanquish the one they play, and then we're just trading 2, and that's fine. Oh, maybe I didn't adjust that one properly. I tweaked it down a little. We'll see next time it comes up. All right, nothing from Oppo. This could mean the 2/1 flash flying rogue. I can't think of any flash clerics though, so. All right. Now, again, wondering if I should... I guess I'll play the priest, and then this trap finder gets in anyway. We have the royal if we want it. Huh. I mean, I could save the trap finder, but I don't particularly care. I think we just let that happen. Nothing but rares from Oppos today, though. Kind of funny. All right, here's a... Now you can check the sound, the volume on this, since I just tweaked the volume. Actually, I want to look at the... reading myself.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
I'm blocking all day long here. I'm looking to go long. I want to fill the yard. We've got get two things out of the graveyard spell. Oh, we cut one of them, right? So we got one graveyard recursion spell. Low on the black mana. I'm fine with roiling the Farsight and letting everybody get more cards. I suppose I could have waited till their turn on the chance they do something weird and try to, like, equip it or something, but... The beauty of art is that it lets people find meaning within that the artist didn't even intend, or one of the beauties. Okay, I draw 2, you draw 1. We keep doing that. I 2, you 1. Well, we can drop another Skulker and have Death Touch. We could... Yeah, I'm going to do that and then hold Vanquish, I think. Because I just feel that Roost of Drakes is, like, right near the top of our library. And we're going to cast it, and then Field Research and Bubble Snare are going to be amazing. You haven't drafted a Roost yet, Jinx? That's sad. How many times have you drafted? Uh-oh. Yeah, this is just like squaring off against Killer Rares Day. Like we're 1 and 2 and just like... Here, have a Soul Shatter and Alright, well, with that going... Do we want to cast the Vanquish or give them a chance to take it? I think we give them a chance to take Vanquish or Bubble Snare because I really want that Field Research. I don't want to give them a chance. I don't want to narrow it down to Field Research because Field Research is the one I would like to keep. Oh yeah, they can't take snare. Sorry, I thought it was. I was thinking more duress than the. I always think of these as duress. Well, they figured it out, unfortunately. Darn it. Well, we have a Royal Mage. Maybe we'll get that back. It doesn't really matter. We lose our thing either way, and we can vanquish whatever they leave behind. If we want. Do we want? We can at least untap. We have plenty of mana. Boy, do we have plenty of mana.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Yeah, fine, I'll snare it. What a sad state of affairs, though. Maybe I didn't even need to snare it. I mean, we could take a hit or two from this while we look for the roost or other action or something else to snare. I think I actually regret that now. I'd rather just have the snare back. Take a turn or two to try and find something else. Hey, buddy. We were just talking about you. And now we have another question about using the Vanquish. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can Royal Mage and still Vanquish next turn. So I'm just going to untap. Because we're going to kick the field research anyway, so... Do we care that they're going for full party, though? What does that even do? And we still... Again, we can still stop it. Yeah, there's the royal loop, but I don't think that's as valuable to me as just drawing 3 and getting this back. But we have... Oh, you mean this loop? Yes, we also have Blood Beckoning Royal Mage loop. I thought you meant the royal loop. Many loops you can do with the Royal Mage, it seems. And yeah, I mean, they know about the Vanquish, so maybe I'm just giving them ways to not do it. But it also means, like, maybe we can get them and destroy the Barons if they try and make it. Now, of course, you don't have to make it a creature. One of the powers of the card is that you can pump 4 into it, put counters on it without turning it into a creature. So Oppo should activate it twice without making it a creature. They might have full party payoffs, but we have an instant speed removal spell. I'm just not worried about it. It is going to be a potential problem, and we cannot into the royal it. I'm going to Vanquish now. That'd be fine. I mean, I'm trading for anything out of their hand, right? As long as we get a card, that was the main thing. Now, let's see. We can Blood Beckoning to get back some Death Touching right now and kick the field research later. Kind of like... Although I kind of want the Royal Mage on the... No, we can even do it all. Let's get Royal Mage and Death Toucher and play Rogue and Death Toucher. Except we don't have the double black to do all three, right? Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get something that can kill this. So maybe I just need something with 3. Do we have anything with 3 power? No, that doesn't work either. Suddenly my plan is trashed due to lack of enough black. And yeah, we can just take 3. It just kind of makes me want a field research kick here instead. So I'm going to do that. There's our third black source, so we can pull that off next turn if we want. We can even play an island here and have Into the Royal ready, so we're going to do that. I think we're just going to lose to this land, though, unless we find our... We do have the common... destroy anything party removal, but the Barons is tough. Tough stuff. Yes, I do remember. That's why I'm saying I think we're going to lose to it. If I didn't remember that, I'd be excited about how we were going to enter the Royal it. Feed is good too, although feed is not an instant. Like what I like about the common option is that it's an instant. But I think we do need to royal the big boss here. Save some damage. Hey, there it is. Excellent. But we can go ahead and start with the Blood Beckoning plan anyway. Get Royal Mage and Skulker. And then Skulk and Rogue. This means we're not going to be able to threaten the Baron death this turn. But we threaten it with the Death Touch Skulker, and if they disrupt our double rogue Death Touch situation, we're not dead to the Barons. We are at 13, so we can still survive. If this doesn't work, we can still survive to do this, is what I'm saying. But we're going to be greedy on the Royal Mage, of course, not play it for a 2-1. We want to get back more action. This is where it gets tough for me, because we're starting to have a lot of options with Royal Mage kicked, getting back any amount of this stuff, which in turn gets back any amount of other stuff. This is where Magic gets super complicated, and spinning all these plates starts to get difficult. So let's bear down, try to play punt-free Magic to the best of our ability. Yeah, I like Deadly Alliance. Royal Mage getting back Deadly Alliance is a good play. But if they go for attacking into our Death Touchers, we can also recur the Blood Beckoning to get back more Death Touchers, etc. Probably that's a little more fancy play, and just multiple Deadly Alliances is going to be fine. Ay, ay, ay. Thwarted at every turn. And now, indeed, losing some of our defense. And there's that pesky Barons looking to make things real rough for us. Taking 9 here. 9. Can we take 9, go to 4? Next turn, we have Deadly Alliance with 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12 mana. 4 of it for alliancing the Barons. One of it, then we have, that's one. We have this to block, that's two. And then we can go Royal Mage, potentially kicking for a third blocker, and then we can survive and still do all the tricksy stuff. So I think we take here and try and stabilize next turn. Okay. Interesting card to show up now. Unfortunately, they're at 6, not 8. If we could do this for cheap, that would be a lot better, but I actually don't think we necessarily have time for this turn. We need to have Deadly Alliance up for the land, so that really gives us 8 mana. And on that front, I like... Kick Sentinel is 6. Yeah, Haj wants to just take this and then alliance the land. That, unfortunately, is not untapped. But we can survive their rogue trades with Disciple, and we could, if needed, take 3 from the Adept. I think that's what Haj is looking at. Because that's 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we can do the Haj line. Well, we have a blocker. I'm going to go the Haj line. And then we have both Alliance and Rebirth, potentially, although we can't really Rebirth in this situation. Alliance on 3 means we can't... And we could play Royal Mage, and it would make Alliance cheaper, but we really want Royal Mage for... I guess we can Rebirth the Royal Mage in that world. Oops. Right? I'll do that. Yeah, this is just to keep us from dying to removal. And this is an emergency valve if we feel it's important. Lifelink getting us above 4 will be nice. I get it. We might not be able to cast this, but if there are situations where we do. But at least we have it up, you know? I get it. But if they go to kill something and we decide we can still block everything and want the thing back, we can do it. And here we have to decide. I guess if we were to do it and go to 2, what does that even do? They attack with that, we kill that. We can't do it. We just have to let that happen because we can't Alliance, or we can't Rebirth. We could Alliance now, but it doesn't matter if it becomes 3, we can still do it. Well, I didn't need the mana. We did have Rebirth plus Alliance. It's just that would kill us, so that's a good reason not to. But yeah, once we let that go, then we have 3, and yeah, I see what you're saying. This wasn't active yet, so we couldn't allow that to... We couldn't go to 2 mana without this activated yet. I was a little distracted. If I'm playing perfectly, I let them attack first, and you do this during combat. Little stream sequencing there. What you don't want to do is let them know what's up. Like, let them commit to their attack before they know what you're doing about it. I don't think it changes much what they're going to do, but... All right, back-to-back dominations. Let's take the Disciple so that we can get the Lifelinker in. And look, I finally got a discount. We can even kick this and have rebirth up. Yeah, I gotta make sure we don't rebirth their stuff. Not gonna rebirth the Hierophant or the Disciple. Corner turned, but Oppo 6 cards. We're at 4 life. We'll see if this holds. That's true. We could rebirth their Disciple if we thought the ETB was good for us, since it's a squared effect. Yeah, Zoff consumption just ends it. I'm prepared to still lose this game. I'm just happy we've stabilized. It's been you know, here we are, 1 and 2, hanging on for dear life. If we lose this one, no salt. It's been a good day of Magic. That's a great card, too. Oh, sorry, this is a different one I thought. This is nice for them because it gets rid of our kicked Sentinel. We get to keep the Hierophant, though, so that's nice. We could rebirth our Sentinel, but it would not have counters on it. Oh, it's Exile? Never mind, thank you. Glad I didn't waste any time there. So, bye, everybody. But we have the last creature standing. Could be worse. Let's see what they got for this. Maybe they're killing this now, too. Again, tons of cards up here. Sky Dancer, you say. Where are we at? 15 to our 9. So we're still more milled than they are, but maybe we come up with alternate mill options. In fact, I'm gonna just hold back here, and if they send in, we can flash in Sky Dancer, block, and rebirth there to double mill them. And double mill might catch us up on card draw, plus, let's see if we got other things that can mill them. Roost, Feed, Risen Riptide, another Sky Dancer, and a Diviner. I guess the other Sky Dancer does technically get us there in terms of bringing us into the lead, because we're 9, they're 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So if we resolve 3 Sky Dancers, we would take the decking... we would take the decking lead. So if we get all of our remaining possible mill, we do take the lead on decking. And with how it's going, I mean, looks like Plan B is becoming less and less tenable here. I don't think we're gonna have a chance to mill them out. Yeah, Rebirth was an option before they gained life and pinged us down. I mean, I get it. I'm just trying to find a line to survive. Land certainly not helping with that, and we might just be dead now. But let's make him figure out the attack. At least we have a lifelink blocker, so that if they attack just in the air, we might have to do the rebirth thing. If they attack on the ground, we at least get 3 points of lifelink out of it. But I think we're going to go 1-3. Deck wasn't amazing, but I feel pretty good about this as far as 1-3s go, right? Gotta be nuts and bolts about it and ask myself what I'm doing differently, and I'm not sure what I would do differently. We can survive, though. Hierophant gets us back our... We should do have our... Oh, we don't. Never mind. Do we have any clerics in here? Nope. We can just take this, and we will get back to 3, because we'll gain 3, lose 3, and net 3. And I thought there might have been one from somewhere else, though. So I'm going to do this in case, like, we might find our other Sky Dancer, in which case we get to play and actually block the Shepherd. So we got to just take this and try and get lucky. Well, Sky Dancers are out. That kind of takes it away, though. Now we don't have an out. Expedition Dancer is enough to buy us a turn, but it's not an out to winning this game is the problem. And it's also setting us up so we cannot use the rebirth, which means we cannot win through milling unless there was some other... Yeah, we don't even have... There's literally nothing else that can do it here. Which is too bad. It means we're going to lose a game in which we resolved 2 Lol Mage's dominations. Yeah, we excitedly drafted a Roost of Drakes and have literally not seen it even in our hand. Only block possible is this. Friday for sure, Poseidon.
Oh, here comes the flood.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there.
He must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
No plans for an LR appearance. Usually is pretty ad hoc, Aurora, but maybe something comes up. Often when there's a big arena change, Marsh wants me on to talk about that stuff. So that could be a time, but there's no plans for it right now. Hey, gang. This deck wasn't great. Didn't feel like a 1-3 deck. No, I don't feel like I ever have a 1-3 deck, but sometimes Magic 1-3s you anyway. In this case, ran into some stunningly good cards throughout the event, especially in the losers bracket, which was a little bit frustrating, a little bit weird. We just kept running into bomb rares no matter what bracket we were in, and then flooded out, and welp. All right. Yeah. Never saw our bomb uncommon. Magic was magic to us today, and we're going to let it go. Nuts and bolts about this says, what should I have done differently? And while I'm not suggesting there weren't arguments to draft differently and certainly some play lines I could have taken differently, I'm largely happy with my decisions today. So I'm going to say good on the decisions, Ryan. Enjoy your 100 gems. So it goes. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube. And if you want to make a decision that helps me, remember to like the video. I should mention this more often. You know, it's an algorithm. YouTube's using an algorithm. It helps me find new viewers if you like my videos, because then YouTube says, hey, we should maybe show this guy to some other people. It's a way you can help. Thanks, YouTube. We'll catch you next time.